All right, good deal. It is recording. So first, let me tell you, I am so excited that y'all joined with us tonight and that we are all on this little call together. I wanted to come on and encourage you guys just for a brief period of time. I want to be really respectful of your evening, but I want to open us up first with telling you that as of this moment right now, our team has welcomed 26 new friends this month. And compared to our last 2 months, that is double. Last month, we have already doubled what we did last month at that number. So that is so encouraging to me, because it tells me that we're going in the right direction and we're doing all the right things. There's a vibe going on right now. Everybody is super excited. There's a lot of momentum going, and I want to make sure that we stay in momentum and we stay excited. And I think the way to do that is to kind of, like Tara has been saying, lean in. And we really want to lean in on this. And I think the best way for us to lean in is to figure out what's working for those who are being highly successful this month and last month, and who is consistently able to grow their business. I want to be really careful with my words. Grow their business, and what's working right now, because we go in waves, and it's trying to figure out what wave we are on this season of life versus maybe this time last year. Right now, going into the summertime, people are a little more conscious about their appearance, about their health. Maybe towards fall and stuff, we're going to be looking for, back to school, boosting our immunity. I know immunity is big right now too, but right now people are getting a little bit more focused on that bathing suit. And I want to talk tonight about what is working. And so we're going to hear from 3 ladies that are rocking their businesses this month, and we're going to hear what's working for them. I saw something the other day and it made me think. And before I have our first amazing leader speak with us tonight about what's working for her, I want to encourage you with this. When you see your teammates, whether it's sideline sisters and brothers, or if it's people within our actual downline and team rocking their business, I want to encourage you to lean into that and to become laser focused on what's working for them. And it's kind of like, so you can look at like all these different, like whether it's comic superheroes or all the way down to, like, if you have kids, Paw Patrol. Every one of those teammates brings something unique, special, and highly valuable to make that team incredible. So every person on our team brings value, brings a different viewpoint, and brings something incredibly special. You might be really good at this, but you may not have this strength, but your friend over here does. And I want to encourage you, even tonight when we're on this call, to be listening to what your friends are talking about, listening to what these leaders are saying. And maybe it's not your personality, but it might be something that you could lock arms with that person and have them help you do what they're doing. So I really want to use this to kind of bring some unity into our team. And I want you to hear first from Elizabeth Neal. And she is going to be talking about how she has become very successful this month and last month using Facebook groups, using private groups. So Elizabeth, I'm going to unmute you and I'm going to give you the floor. And I'm going to go ahead and say real quick, and I'm going to apologize. I have a 3 to 5 second delay. I know a couple of people have hopped on, and I want you to know that I'm not ignoring you. And I'm not talking over you. I just am not on the same internet wavelength as you. So know that. So when Elizabeth, when you get done, y'all just sit tight, because eventually I'll catch up and start talking again.
Okay. All right. So Facebook groups. So basically the Facebook groups that I am a part of have to do with my interests, my hobbies, what I'm connected, trying to connect with people that have similar interests. The one that I've had the most success with right now is my GERD group. When I started Plexus, it's because I had gastroesophageal reflux disorder. Is that right, Melissa? That's how GERD? Okay. I always say disease, disorder. Anyway, but people are suffering, and I was suffering. And so, I joined that group to kind of see where people were at and if I could offer the same thing. But you have to be really sneaky about the way you do it. And I'll explain that in just a minute. But you want to look into things when you're trying to find groups of common interests, common hobbies. For example, I've started running. So I looked into running groups and joined some running groups, even if I'm asking what kind of tennis shoe, that they suggest homeschool groups. We're a homeschool family. So looking into homeschool groups. Actually, all y'all are homeschool families right now because everybody's been schooling their kids at home, but we did it by choice. Camping. We enjoy camping as a family. We don't get to go a whole lot, but I like to see, hacks, tricks, whatever. People have tips for camping. So exercise groups. My husband's a triathlete, so he doesn't have his own Facebook, so he uses mine. So if you looked at my groups, you'd see triathlete groups, you'd see all kinds of marketplace things for their equipment. Cycle groups, Bible studies. I've have some Bible studies on there and connect with the ladies that way. I am or was an 8th grade parent, what we call community coordinator, that's what we're called, in our homeschool group. And so I connected with those people and had that group, formulated that group, and it just connected them with my algorithm and they would see things. But that's different. When you join a group, you're actually going into that. So these people in the 8th grade parents would see me and what I do in my activity as we interact. Something else I'm looking into are travel destinations. We were supposed to be in Wyoming pretty soon. And so we travel groups, travel places that we want to go, those kind of things. So really when you're looking into groups you want to join, just look for places that are or groups that share the common interests and hobbies that you have. And then in my mind, I was like, what could I contribute to those groups? So I had to build trust. One way that I build trust is I've got to frequent the group. I have to make a point of showing up. My GERD group has over 30,000 people. They don't notice me, but hopefully when I respond to things and people say, hey, have you been able to get relief from your acid reflux? Oh yeah, plant-based supplements did it for me. And then the next one says, how's your diet changed? Did you have to change diets? No, actually I eat anything I want since I've started taking plant-based supplements. So they're seeing something over and over. 2-3 times a week is probably good. But sometimes I wake up in the morning and 12 people have responded. And so I want to make sure that I get back with them. But I'm offering them a solution to their problem. I'm not selling them a product. And that is what's so big. It's across the board in anything we do. But these people, specifically, the reason I think I've had so much response in this group is because not just I'm relatable, but we have something so deep in common. That's a struggle, a day-to-day struggle. And I try to slowly share. And the way I slowly share is I'm going to check back with them a little while later. If I see they're back in the group, hey, how's it going? I know you were trying that acid watchers diet or something like that, or I know you said you were going to try to eliminate. Don't do a whole lot of that because like I said, there are so many of us, but if I see the same people, I follow up. I'll ask. I can't divulge. I don't just divulge everything I know right away. I'm just dripping, just like we would normally, just dripping. I'll say plant-based supplements. They may ask how I found them. I had a friend, then it comes around to where do you get them from? Oh, online. You get them online. So I just kind of drip and answer their questions and then ask to take it off the group because you have to be so careful in these groups and read their rules. You will be kicked out, like banned. And there are tons of them to be a part of, but you don't want to go in there and just automatically write the rules. So read up on their rules and see what they say is allowed. I joined another one today, and of course they say no selling products. I'm not here to sell you products. And if they ask if I sell products, I'll say, I'm sharing with you what worked for me. That's what I'm doing. But I always say I don't sell. I don't carry inventory. And I said to a lady yesterday, I don't carry inventory. I don't sell you things. I can't send you anything in the mail, that you can't order from me. And really, so that's how do I know what to say? I read the rules. Typically they're short and sweet, and they're all kind of groups for the most part have the same rules. So that helps. Typically they say you can't promote your products. They'll move, they will ban you if you do. It's the first thing. They'll do, you don't get like a one excusable violation, you're gone. So luckily that hasn't happened yet. I have left groups before because I get tired of the fussing and the arguing that goes back and forth. So, it's your liberty. You get to pick what you're a part of. I will ask people, hey, sure, I'd love to share with you. If I say to them, yes, I've gotten relief from my GERD. How did you get that? Oh, I use plant-based supplements. Oh, really? Where did you get them from? And I might say, Plexus plant-based supplements. Can I share more with you in a DM, a PM? I don't know. Some people know one and not the other. Yes, sure. And sometimes they'll answer it and sometimes they won't. So there's that, you can't get discouraged over it. You just have to kind of go with it. But I just said, be patient with your time frame of getting back to them. I try not to sit on them. They're being inundated with other people. I had a lady yesterday Sunday, tell me no thank you. Her husband was taking her to naturopath. He said no. And yesterday she contacted me. Hey, I'm really interested. Can you tell me more about your products? I've got to do something. But I think she's seen me there again because I said to her, oh yeah, we had this conversation over the weekend. I validated that she had the problem and such. So I think it's really important when you join those groups, you got to join with a good intention. You want to share, and you want to, obviously, like I said, you want to be able to contribute. So just be careful about the groups you get in. This whole triathlete thing is not my thing. That's my husband's. But man, if somebody starts talking about some pain in there, you better bet I'm going to say to him, you better be typing about, I've got some E's that I use, and let them ask questions if you're going to use my account. But I really think, it's pretty simple. It's just look for what you're interested in. What can you relate to? What can you contribute to? I will send a graphic. I typically will say, hey, can I share with you the products I use? And I send the graphic strictly with the verbiage, no price in there, whatever. And then just ask them, like you would anybody else, hey, what could you relate to in this? Is there anything that stands out to you that you struggle with? But as always, I bring it back to what they said their initial issue was. Some of these people talk about heartburn. I'm going to talk about heartburn. Some of these people talk about GERD full-fledged. I talk about GERD full-fledged. And with like anybody, I don't fabricate anything. I'm going to stick to it and be completely upfront, and that's it. I'm not going to, sugarcoat it. I'm not going to give more. If they say IBS, yes, I was told by the doctor I had IBS. I was also told I had leaky gut, and I went, no, I don't. Keep going. Come on. So I wouldn't say that I had IBS because I would always denied it. But, if you can talk about it and you're familiar with it, then I think you can contribute. So that's pretty much what I have to say. Those are groups, and they're good. Let me tell about, I have signed 2 ladies this month. One of them I stuck with for 17 days, just stripped on her all the way through. She was ready to sign up, but I've got to wait till money. Money came around, and we just stripped. We have formed a relationship. I have built confidence. She has confidence in me now. I built trust. And sure enough, she signed up. Yesterday's girl, we talked back and forth for less than 2 hours, and she was already signed up. And it just depends on what they're looking for, but I think you have to look at each individual person separately and just meet them where they are. So
that is all such wonderful information, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. Groups are so valuable, and especially if you are in a place where maybe you feel like you're a little bit stuck, or I hear the word tapped out sometimes, which I promise you never happens. I've thought that many times, and then I'll be like, oh my goodness, I'll look at my stories or something, and there's 5 more people that I wasn't even thinking about, that the Lord just kind of brought back into my life. So I do want to let y'all know, if you have questions throughout this for any of our speakers, if you will put that in the chat, after all three are finished, I am going to look through the questions, and I'm gonna I'll ask them at the end on your behalf, so that our speakers aren't having to try to look at the chats and look at the and pay attention to their notes or what they're talking about. So the next person I am going to have you talk with tonight and hear from is Melissa Weatherford. And let me tell you, she is rocking this month as well. Last month, she was a 6-time stimulus, or she had added 6 people and was a double stimulus earner. And she is well on her way to achieving that again this month. And I am going to unmute you right now. There you go. Okay, take it away.
All righty. Okay, so I'll start by saying when I first started on Plexus, I had no intentions of sharing. If you don't know me, I am a pharmacist. I already have a really good job. I didn't necessarily need to share the products. I didn't really need the extra money, although we all love extra money. But I really had no intentions on sharing. I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't have a big group of friends that I could go to and say, hey, let's do this together. It wasn't happening. So I really had no intentions to share. But I took the products for about a month, and I started noticing so many changes and feeling so much better. I actually figured that it wasn't real, or I'm sure it was just me thinking they were making me feel better. So I actually let my products run out for a little while, and I started going back to feeling the way I was before and having the anxiety and sadness, hormone fluctuations, and all kinds of stuff. So I realized that these products really were working. And so as soon as I got my products ordered again, I knew that I had to start sharing these with my friends who I saw struggle so much on Facebook or any kind of social media, because I had something that could help them. I love helping people. That's why I went to school to become a pharmacist. That's my passion, is helping others. So I started sharing, not to make extra money. Well, I like extra money. Don't get me wrong. But I started sharing to help others to feel the feelings that I was feeling from these products. So I shared a little bit here and there. I didn't get much reaction back or any kind of input. I tried doing stories. I would do posts. I would have people, from Plexus love on my posts, but nobody was reaching out. I didn't really know people to reach out to, and I didn't feel comfortable reaching out to people at this time, because I just didn't have those relationships with people. And so I wasn't seeing much activity when I first started. So I decided to go live one day. I don't really even know what led me to go live or why I decided to do it. But I did. I'm a pretty, I don't really care much about what people think. So I wasn't worried about, oh my gosh, somebody's going to see this and think I look crazy or am annoying. I really didn't care. So I went live and I started talking about the products and how I was feeling better. I can't even remember my first live. But after that live, my viewings on my stories shot up. Okay, so I'm saying, I used to have 15 people see my story. Yeah, I'm telling you, I did not have friends. So I would only have 15 people. After I started doing lives, I think it was my first one, my viewings on my stories, I could see went up to over 100, 150 sometimes I would get 180 people, and I don't know. So I'm not an expert on Facebook algorithms, but I will tell you, from going live, I saw so much more activity on my stories. Now with posts, you can't really see who's watching it or who's looking at your post unless they comment. And a lot of people don't comment. Even though they may be watching them, they're not going to comment. But you can see in your stories. That's why I really love stories, because I can watch and see who's looking at it. And then I can see if you have longer stories, like 5 to 10 slides, if you look at those people who are going through each one of those slides, they're probably a good person to reach out to, because they might not feel comfortable yet reaching out to you, but they're curious because they are watching through these slides. So that's why I really like doing in my stories. I try to go live at least once a week, maybe twice a week. It just depends on what I have going on. But in my lives, the biggest thing that I have found is to be relatable. I don't get all dolled up and put on my makeup and look really pretty. Most of my lives are no makeup, just got done working out, talking about most of my lives are done on Metaburn, active and slim. And if you've ever seen one, they kind of get a little lengthy, but I'm an open book. I kind of just tell it all, and I'm truthful about what I share in my lives. I'm very honest and open about whatever I'm talking about. A lot of times I talk about the products. I try to mix it up. Sometimes I talk about the products. Sometimes I talk about the business aspect or what specials we have going on. I try not to do the same thing. Another really good thing, and I always forget, is to put a little catchy phrase or something in the title for your live. You can put a little message before you go live saying what it's about. If you can come up with something like catchy, people will click on it and be like, what is she talking about? And once they start watching, maybe they'll get hooked in. So I use my lives to really build influence and trust with the people that are watching. Like I said, I'm very authentic and real in my lives. I think that is probably the best thing. People can read posts. A lot of posts are copied and pasted. I try not to do too much copy and paste, but some stories you just can't help but share because they're so good, copy and paste. But when you go live, it's you. I mean, it is just you talking to them. So I really do think lives help by showing that you are a real person, your real feelings, that this isn't just you copy and pasting this post and, hey, buy this from me, or, join my team, which I say all the time. Jenny's like, Melissa, quit saying that. But I love people to get on my team. Anyways, this is getting on a rant. Okay. All right. So going live, be relatable, be honest. Oh, be real. This is real. And this is what I do in my life. Okay, so it really will help to boost your story views. Always use your story views to go through and see who's been watching. Those people that stick through it, through the whole thing, you want to reach out to those people and say, hey, I've started these new products that I've really had some really great results from them, something along that lines. Y'all have all the scripts. I don't need to tell y'all. But anyways, yes, that is going live. They really work to help boost your, what is it called? Your algorithm, all that stuff. It's good.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Yes, and I think the word you're looking for was influence. And that is so true, because you have such a strong presence and you have powerful influence. And I'm seeing it like every month you are just like proving yourself wrong, which I absolutely love. All right, our next guest, I'm so excited to welcome her. She is one of our Sideline Sisters, and she just jumped in this month. And with this being her first month, I don't want to mess it up, but I believe Sarah has welcomed 12. Is that still the number? Am I right on that one? I think she has welcomed 12
I
people.
think so.
Okay, she has already welcomed 12 new friends in her almost first month. She is knocking it out of the park. So I want to hear from you tonight. I want you to share with us your secrets of how you jumped in with 2 feet with no reservation and what your big goals are. So let's give her a big warm welcome. Sarah Leguenec, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll just start. I've been doing Plexus now for like 11 days. So I don't know like that everything there is to know, but what I did realize is like when I first started, I was like trying to learn everything and put all these posts together, and then I realized like if I was spending this time messaging people right now, I could have already had somebody say yes. So I made a list of 100 people, and I know that sounds like a crazy number, but literally if you like my kid's teacher, my grandma, my aunts, my cousins, my like just start there and then look at your Facebook friends and it'll start branching out and you'll see, you know, a lot more people. And I said like, no matter what, I'm going to message 10 people every day. That's what I said at first, was I was going to message 10 people. And a lot of times in the morning, I'm just have a bad habit of getting on my phone and being on Facebook and Instagram for like 30 minutes. Everybody does it, I feel like. Instead of spending that time doing that, I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is I'm like, I'm going to hit up my 10 people for Plexus. Like that's what I want to do right now. So before I even make any post, I message the 10 people, seeing if they want to join me or if they've seen that I've been posting about it or if they're interested. And then I start making my posts. So while those people might start responding to me. And what I also realized is, I don't know, my social media wasn't very active because I just had a baby and all I had been doing was posting photos of him. So people were kind of over it. They're like, okay, Sarah, we get it. You have a baby. So I didn't have like a lot of interaction, and I was like, I really need to get my social media going. Like I need people to interact with me more. So I started thinking like, what is something that's going to make people be like, oh, that's cool. So I started posting videos of me like dancing or working out or cooking, just anything to get people to like be commenting on my stuff, because the more people commenting and interacting with you, the more people that are going to see your stuff. Let me see. Yeah, so my big thing is like I don't know everything about Plexus. Like some of the products, I don't even know the names of them, right? So when someone reaches out to me and they want something, I'm like looking it up really quick. But I think that's what's cool about this is you can really learn as you go. Like first step, just message as many people as you can and then figure out the answers later. And when I say, so I said I'm going to message 10 people a day. The other day, I kind of just put together like a little like, hey, how's it going? Did you see that I'm doing Plexus? It's been awesome for me. I'm doing it for weight loss and energy. Would you want to try it out with me? And I literally copied and pasted that same message to, I went to the same thing that Melissa was saying. I went to a story that I had posted and I looked at who was still following me through like all 5 slides. And when I got to like the 5th slide, I messaged 32 people the same thing, copied and pasted it. And only one person said yes. But that's okay. Like, cause that was just, it took me 10 minutes to copy and paste it to all those people. And then one person said yes. So I'm one person closer to hitting my goal. You know what I mean? So just don't be afraid to like just ask everybody. Like they're either going to say yes or no. And if they say no, right, it might just be no for right now. And then they're going to get back to you later because people have FOMO. They're going to see you posting and posting and posting about it. And they're going to see other people joining and jumping on, and it's going to make them want to. So I think even people that are telling me not right now, they're going to come back to me because I already put the seed in their ear. So even people who I think are going to be a no, I'm still going to message them just so they keep seeing it, and then they are going to come back to me. Because a lot of people are selling Plexus in my community, So I want to be the person that they go to. Oh, also what I noticed is whenever you're posting, I don't know if Melissa already touched on this, but don't just post words. Like, it's always more captivating if you're posting a picture. And what I realize is people like to see you, like people who are following your platform, whether it's your family, like they want to see what you're up to, what you're doing. So I find it's best to post like a picture of me or a video of me and my baby, because that's what gets people to stop and be like, oh, look what Sarah's doing. You know what I mean? Oh, that's all I got. Those are my tips of kind of what I've been doing. Just take your first 30 minutes of hour of every day, instead of being on social media, start reaching out to people, reach out to at least 10 people a day, and make your list of people. And just try to get your social media more interactive. So it doesn't always have to be Plexus posts, just anything to get more people communicating with you on any of your social media platforms.
Sarah, that is all so good. And I am so grateful that you invested time in my team tonight and that you were willing to come on this call and spend some time with us. We are so grateful to have you on here. And everything that each one of these ladies said was phenomenal. Every single one of them have brought something incredibly unique, a new idea. I hope that it sparked some sort of, I can do this because they're doing this, mental mindset tonight for you. I so appreciate each one of you. If you're on this call or watching the recording and you feel stuck, then I want to encourage you to consider what Elizabeth is doing and reaching out to people in your Facebook groups or joining Facebook groups. Or maybe you haven't been posting regularly and you aren't making the best use of your Facebook algorithm and putting things in stories and seeing who's following along. Because people do have FOMO, just like Sarah was talking about. People have major FOMO, but a lot of times they also have what I say is, oh no, they don't want to reach out to you. A lot of people will wait for you to say something to them. They want that invitation. They want to feel like you are asking them to come in. So yes, I agree with everything that was said tonight, and I so appreciate you ladies jumping on and sharing your hearts and what's working for y'all. There is no doubt why you are where you are, because of your boldness and because of your hearts and passion. So with all of that said, I'm going to see, someone had asked a question real quick. I want to make sure I address it. It says, can you share your lives in your stories? You can, I believe that you can hit share and go to stories. I don't think that it will send it to your story as far as where your live is broken down. You would need to do that with an app, but it will bring up the little graphic that you have gone live, and you can click on it as if it was an actual post. That's correct, right, Melissa?
I really don't know. I don't post any of my lives in my stories. I see people do it. But I think most of them do a video and then break it down with either cut story or split story app. But I
don't know when I'm supposed to mute you when I'm not, but yes, that is absolutely right. You can either use cut story or you can use that split story, and it'll break it up if you want your live to go into your story like that. But I would just be really considerate of how long your live is into your stories as well. But you can share it into your stories and it come up like a little post, and then you will you can just put something like some cute little went live, oh my gosh, go check it out, or something catchy like that. Okay, let me check one more. Someone missed something. I'm not sure what was missed, but you're welcome to message and I can try to figure it out. All right, so if you want to continue asking questions, if you think of things as we go along, I'm going to move right along, and I want to talk to y'all real quick just about some updates that we have coming up, more of like our team call kind of thing. But so the Red, White, and Renew You Challenge is kicking off on June the 1st, and we are all so excited about that. And I want to kind of piggyback on the whole Facebook and posting thing when it comes to the Red, White, and Renew You. I'm asking my team to have a goal to post about that at least 3 times a week, at a minimum 3 times a week, because it goes back to that algorithm. Because just because you posted it one time, it may mean that only 20 of your friends saw that. You got 800 friends on Facebook and only 20 of them saw that because your algorithm has narrowed itself down. Maybe you haven't been posting for a while. Maybe you have only been posting this or that, or connecting with these people on Facebook. And out of those 20 people that saw it, it's probably 10 of them that are on Plexus with you. So I encourage you to post at least 3 times a week about the Red, White, and Renew You, because like everyone reiterated tonight, FOMO. People are going to want to get involved with this. It is a big event, and there's already a lot of excitement behind it. So I would also, for those of you who are not newbies on the call, circle back around to your friends that did the Renew You at the beginning of the year. Maybe they maybe they fell off the bandwagon, or maybe you have some people who started a little while ago and they want weight loss, but they're not quite seeing the results that they thought they were going to. And this will be a great way to plug them in to escalate their progress and to make sure that it happens for them, because they're gonna have all their tools. Maybe the tool that they're missing is that group motivation. And that will be easily solved within our group. Or maybe it's reminders to drink water, or some easy recipes, or maybe it's a product that they're not already taking that they're going to learn about and want to start taking. So there's going to be so much value in this group coming up on June 1st. I just highly recommend everyone plugging into it so strongly. Okay, so let's see. Yes, Clint, that is so good. Add friends. Go in and add friends. When you have a friend suggestion list, go through that sucker and start adding them. You know, that is people who are automatically going to start seeing your algorithm. They're going to automatically start seeing your stuff because it automatically connects you as soon as you add them as a friend. That is so, so smart. The other thing that's kicking off on Monday, June the 1st, is our Sharing in 5. So if you do have new people that have started, we are kicking off strong at the first of the month again with Sharing in 5, and it's going to go live brand new again. And it'll start all over with lots of support and lots of excitement. So I encourage everyone, whether you're new or whether you have new people on your team, to plug them in to get them ready for Sharing in 5 coming up next Monday. Okay, so 2 Mondays. So the next thing I want to talk to you guys about, my team-wise, is convention. Convention is June the 19th and 20th. So it's June 19th, Friday night, and June 20th. And we are making plans. If you're on the Georgia team, we are making plans right now. Melissa and I go next week to go look at this place, and pray with us that the Wi-Fi there is strong enough to stream, because you know, out here in the boonies, we are so limited. As much as I would love to have everybody come out here to the farm and we do it here, that would be so much fun. We don't have, I mean, obviously we don't have very good internet, so there's just no way that we could stream it and it be worthy of what it deserves by any means. So we are going to look at a venue next week. The trouble that we are having, so I want to say this so that way if you have any suggestions locally, come to me with those suggestions. We need suggestions. We need a place that will hold at least 50 people, and we need a place that has strong Wi-Fi. And it needs to be indoors because it's the middle of June. And other than this last week, typically in Georgia, it is hot. And we don't want to be sweating all night and all day, or in the evening and then the whole next day, okay? Because there's going to be a lot of excitement going on already. We need some air conditioning. So that being said, we are looking for a venue that we can host and have everybody on our team and potentials come together and it be just a big ball of fun. So that is our goal. With that being the goal, that means that we will not do our smaller retreat that we are going to be doing in 2 weekends. We're going to just plug all of our effort into the convention. So pray that when we go next week and we check this place out, that it is exactly what we need it to be. It has to be a privately owned location because Georgia is only going into phase 2 right now. We cannot rent convention centers. We can't rent, not like a convention center, but like we can't rent a conference room in a hotel. None of that is open until September 1st. So it's really kind of limiting us on what our availability would be. So I am open to any ideas. Just, you know, we want it to hold at least 50 people, air conditioning, and Wi-Fi. I mean, it's not too big of a list, but it is the list. So, and we are super excited about that. And they released the little itinerary for it. And like the opening speaker is Mel Robbins, and Susie Orman is going to be talking financial stuff. I don't know if any of y'all have ever read her books, but they are phenomenal. There is just a whole list of just A-list, top-notch people, and I'm just super excited to be that they are investing in us in that way. So let me see. Let me make sure I have hit all of my highlights before dismiss. Does anybody have any questions or anything? You can unmute yourself if you want to. If anybody has anything.
Let me just say, last year, folks, y'all.
Hold on,
She
you're breaking
is
up.
freaking incredible. Follow on Instagram. Okay. Y'all, I'm like, that's why I'm so bummed that we're not gonna be like live, because to watch him on stage is like a whole nother level. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But she's incredible. I'm super excited about Suze Orman. I've never heard her speak, but Mel Robbins is like, oh, you guys are gonna love her.
Yes.
Sorry, I had to tell y'all. You said Mel Robbins, and I didn't even know she was speaking at convention this year. I'm like, oh my god. Yeah, she's incredible.
We are super excited.
Love you guys.
Love you too, Rita. But
everyone did so.
The conference or convention is going to be for everyone. So it's going to be husbands and wives. So we want everybody to bring everybody. Convention normally is open for husbands to go to. And I will encourage you that it is a great place. We plan to have some sort of guy bonding experience during the convention because I feel like that's super important for the men on Plexus to really kind of bond together also. I think it'll help create a stronger unity within our group as well. But okay, so any more questions before I hop on? I turn off the recording. All right. Well, let me just say this. Everyone did absolutely fantastic. I am so excited about the direction this team is going. Okay, do y'all have a question?
Yes. Can you tell me, y'all are saying plant-based what?
Supplements?
Okay, I got it. Thanks. Do y'all share on Snapchat?
What were you saying?
I was talking to somebody about it right now on Snapchat. I just shared the red, white, and renew. Yeah, on Snapchat, and somebody was talking to me about it.
Now, I haven't even thought of Snapchat. So you, Brooke, you might have to give us a tutorial on that next month. Next month, we need a Brooke Fane tutorial on Snapchat.
In the summertime.
Brooke's going to have the Snapchat market locked.
I don't know anything about the Snapchat, okay? So I'm going to need to know about this.
Oh, I love Snapchat.
Me.